In this tutorial, you guys will be learning how to do the following commands: rotate, mirror, scale, and stretch. This is going to be assignment 3. So what you're going to do first is open up your workspace and save it as assignment 3. So these following commands you find yourself using a lot, so it is very good if you know this. At the top of the screen, you're going to see that you have your commands right here. You have rotate, mirror, scale, and stretch. All right, we're going to be learning these 4 right now. The very first one that you're going to be learning is the mirror command. By pressing the mirror command, it's going to ask you in the command line, let me press it again. It's going to ask you in the command line, make sure that it appears, to select the objects. All right, not object, but both objects that you want to mirror. And in our case, it's going to be both of these lines. So I can just highlight both of them, and you'll see right here it says that 2 are found, and that's exactly what we want to do. So we want to mirror this image to the other side, basically just making it a square box. So after it finds the 2 images, all I have to do from here on out is press enter. The very next thing that it asks you says specify first point of mirror line. That is going to be the base point right here. Alright, so all I have to do is now click it, and you're noticing that when I move my mouse, you're going to see that it basically copied the image and it put it on the other side. So all I have to do right now is just rotate it to the other point, click my endpoint, and you'll notice that it disappears. The reason why it disappears is because it's asking you a question. Go down and read why it disappeared. It says mirror, erase source object with a question mark, and then it has an N right here. So it's saying that if as long as I press enter, it's going to say no, because we don't want to erase it. We want it to appear. Now I just made my mirrored image. That's how you use that command. The next command that we're going to be learning is the rotate command. So I can either click the rotate command, or I can just type it into the command line and press enter. The thing that it's asking you to do now, it says select objects to rotate. I can just highlight the entire object, press enter. Now it says specify base point. This is where it becomes crucial. Wherever I pick my base point, that becomes the axis that it will rotate on. So I'm going to say that I want this to rotate on its center axis. So using my tracking guides, I can find it with my green dotted lines. That's going to be my rotating axis point. So now it says rotate specify rotation angle. So now I just have to choose what angle I want to rotate this at. So I will choose 45 degrees and press enter. Okay, and and it's that simple to use the rotate command. The next command that I'm going to ask you to learn is the stretch command. After you click the stretch command, it says select objects. In this case, I'm going to not just select them, I'm going to make my window again, and I'm only covering half of the objects that I want to actually extend. Oops. I'm going to go from right to left, and I'm going to highlight these 3 right here. Now I have my 3 found. I'm going to press enter. Now it says specify base point. I'm going to choose this as my base point. And now you'll notice if I move my mouse, I'm actually stretching the 3 objects that I selected before. So now I'm going to say that I want it to stretch at a specific location. Okay? I don't want to just randomly pull this thing down and click away. No, I want to say shift at that point. I want to go down, let's say 2 inches. So I'm going to put 0, comma, -2. because remember, it's a grid pattern. So the negative makes me go down. The 0 is on the x-axis, and the -2 is on the y-axis. The next command that we're going to be going over is the scaling command, and we're going to use it on this polygon over here. To scale, I can either click it or I can just highlight it and then right click on my mouse. I'm going to click the command up at the top left of the screen. Now I'm going to highlight the entire drawing. The next thing it asks you, it says to enter the objects found, and it says specify base point. Once again, whatever my base point is or wherever it's going to be will actually shrink it to that location. So just to show you, I'll make this my base point. Now it says specify scale factor. My scale factor, I want to make this half the size. So I'm going to type in 0.5, enter. And it just shrunk it down to a scale factor of half the original size. After you're done practicing those commands, you are then going to try your next assignment, which is assignment 3. This one might be a little challenging for you. All you are going to be getting from me is this right here. This image. From this image, you have to create this drawing. When you print it out, it should match up exactly with the transparency that I have in the front of the room. You have to go, print it out, check it. If it doesn't match, try it again. This should be in a specific location, specific size, and it should match up completely with the transparency. After you have completed this and everything looks right, you can write your name on it and then hand it in for grading.